We were still holding on to the demon arm. We thought we maybe could pull it off. But what we started finding is, as people were playing it, they really wanted to hit things with the demon arm. They felt like it's just something you really want to use. So at some point we sort of had to say goodbye to it. And again, it also messed with the human part. So last but not least, what we ended up with was this design, and it's very close to the previous one. And as you can see, it had a cowl. It's a little bit more on the dark side and a little bit mysterious. It still reads very fast and swift. And of course, we also want to make sure it had a dark vibe to it, that it really read very anti-hero-ish in that sense. And also a little bit of that medieval vibe that we're talking about. And of course, most importantly, that it read ranged. And I'm going to pass this on to Paul, and he'll show you how it was done in 3D. Thanks.
All right, so I'm Paul Warska. I'm the character lead on Diablo 3. And I'm going to pick up where Christian just left off there and walk you guys through the modeling, texturing, and the animation of the Demon Hunter. So right off the bat, we had this concept, and at this point we're like, okay, this character, she hits the mark. Yeah, there's like two guys that got that joke there. So we had this character, and she was kind of a sexy character. I know Christian didn't get into that very much, but at this point we had some characters like the monk. You have this holy monk, you've got this kind of creepy witch doctor. You have the barbarian female, if you're into that sort of thing. Awesome. But we wanted somebody who's physically attractive, and for all the ladies in the crowd, don't worry about it. We're working on the male demon hunter right now. We're trying to make him equally as attractive. Thanks, Kristen. So she hit the ranged archetype, obviously. We also really wanted to have a character that's a much darker vibe, because like Christian said, we've got a holy monk, you've got the kind of flamboyant witch doctor or wizards. So yeah, we wanted a dark character, and honestly, she just looked plain cool at this point. So we take this concept, and it's time for us to start asking ourselves, well, how do you gear this character up? You know, we've had a character who's got a cowl. Well, how do you upgrade a cowl? We got to start thinking about how those caps work. And we also start thinking about what makes the character visually distinct from the rest of the classes. So the character team keyed in on three big things with this character. Number one, the character has a scarf. When you are running with a demon hunter, you know, out of the corner of your eye, you might see that character that's just a little ways away from the crowd. She's got that flowing cloth. Right away, you know that the demon hunter's there. You're also going to see, from game cam, you're being able to see this character's legs, unlike the the wizard and the monk. And also, we keyed into this arm guard, which kind of helps her silhouette pop a little bit more. So what we do is, the very first thing we do on the modeling side is we go ahead and create what we call a naked look for the demon hunter. We do this with all our classes. This is the look that it's basically before you've done any gearing up. We put this together and we hand it on to animation, and in this case, Non went ahead and he came up with a bunch of poses that he thought really captured the attitude of the character. And the cool thing, at least for the inside the team, is that this is the first time you see a character that you get it. Like, you see it and you're like, okay, I get the attitude of this character. She's kind of pissed off, you know, she's angry. She's just got a lot of attitude. So based on that, we go ahead and we build up kind of a geared up version of her. And again, we're really conscious of things like her silhouette. We want her to read really quick. We want to really reinforce the attitude. And most importantly in Diablo is, at least from the modeling standpoint, is this talk of readability. So a character like this, she's very strappy, she's kind of gadgety. You know, you can see there's actually a lot of stuff going on, but when you zoom out to, 30 feet above her head or so, you want to be able to see that stuff and read the characters. So we group together colors and values and that sort of thing. So at this point, we've got a model that we're happy with, and the animators are going to go ahead and take that, and they're going to start filling out her animation suite with all the cool things that a demon hunter does. And we go ahead and we start putting together some of her tools. So like the Demon Hunter in this case, obviously she's going to use bows and crossbows. If you guys go play her out on the show floor today, you're going to see she's also the only character who can dual wield pistol crossbows. So, as I say, we've passed it on at this point to animation. Yeah, and you can kind of sort of see the fruits of everybody's labor. We've got a character that they've really taken advantage of her kind of pose-to-pose action. You know, pulling a trigger is probably not as exciting as swinging an axe or a sword, but they really reinforce her character by just the full body pose she takes when she shoots stuff, and also taking advantage of her skills. And I'm going to leave it for Wyatt and Julian to get into the skills, because she just does some really cool stuff. And with that, that's it for me. I'm going to pass it on to Leonard. Thanks.
Thanks, Paul. I'm Leonard Boarski. I'm the lead world designer on Diablo 3. And I'm going to take you through the lore behind the Demon Hunter and really talk about her background. The Demon Hunter is our most diverse class. What does that mean? She's not one type of person, or she doesn't come from one social class. She could really come from any walk of life. Demon Hunters are chosen. They're not born into their class like all of our other classes are. This clicker doesn't work very well. They're bound together by their thirst for revenge. Revenge on demons who have slaughtered their family and friends. The Demon Hunters are recruited by other Demon Hunters after they've had these encounters with demons that would crush lesser people. Like I said, they aren't born, they're made. Like I said, they're recruited. They don't have a homeland per se. They're nomadic. They're always chasing down demons. They really want to crush demons. That's their reason for living. They do have a base up in the borderlands up north where they train new recruits, though. If you take the best aspects of a ranger and a bounty hunter class and combine it with an epic revenge quest, you end up with a really excellent, challenging class to play. And on top of that, they dual wield crossbows. I mean, what more do you need than that? We need new batteries is what we need, actually. So what drives the Demon Hunter? The Demon Hunter is our obsessed hero. She'll do whatever it takes to hunt down demons and eradicate them from the world of Sanctuary. When you saw what Christian was talking about, we took her partially into like the demon world, and we really wanted to show that she dabbles in the dark side. She's not afraid to get her hands dirty, so to speak. So we didn't want her to seem demonic. So we didn't want to like really go into having her have demonic parts or the demon arm or anything like that. So what we did is we pulled back on that, and we gave her the glowing eyes to kind of show that she's probably been messing in areas that maybe she shouldn't have been, but just to really show that she's totally obsessed and that she'll do whatever it takes to get rid of demons. And she's a stalker of demons. She uses her traps and gadgets and lies in wait for demons. She really wants to strike terror into their hearts. She wants demons to feel what they usually cause in human beings. She wants them to know the terror of being stalked. And finally, she realizes the true stakes of what's going on. All the other classes have their own reasons for doing what they're doing. The witch doctor and the monk are in it for their religious ideals. The wizard is in it for personal gain. The barbarian is in it for his people. But the demon hunter is in it for one thing and one thing only, and that's for killing demons. She understands the true stakes of the eternal conflict between the high heavens and the burning hells, and she's going to do whatever it takes to make sure that hell doesn't get a foothold in Sanctuary.